And a very pleasant good evening, late good afternoon, good evening to everyone as we are live from the Kewanee High School football field as we got fresh soft football tonight as the Riveters will play host to the Princeton Tigers. Hello, everybody. I'm Bob McKee along with Willie Terry. And very nice to see you here on this Monday afternoon. And Willie, my friend, good to see you as always.
Good to see you as well, Bob.
You bet. Nice to have you alongside. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take this opportunity to mention our Boiler Booster live stream sponsors. They include the Ed Morse Automotive Group, Chevy and GM of Kewanee, Hammond Henry Hospital, Geneseo and Kewanee, Union Federal Savings and Loan, Goods Furniture, the State Bank of Toulon, Gustafson Ford of Kewanee, OSF St. Luke Medical Center in Kewanee, Great Dane, the Community State Bank, Galva and Kewanee, Kewanee Physical Therapy and Rehab Specialist, Martin Engineering of Neponset, the Kewanee Schools Foundation, Edward Jones in downtown Kewanee, Cernovich's Auto and Truck Wrecking of Kewanee, the People's National Bank, Coco's Bar and Grill, and Coco's Coffee Shop, both in downtown Kewanee, the Mel Foster Company, and Breedlove Sporting Goods in downtown Kewanee. Thanks to those wonderful live stream sponsors for making all of this a possibility. And again, a very, very pleasant good evening to everyone. I'm Bob McKee along with Willie Terry. And Willie, it's been a challenging season to this point for the Riveters. They certainly have a tough opponent in town tonight. We're hearing that Princeton, as they line up in their pregame warm-ups on a double wing, they have beaten already Sterling Newman and also Rock Ridge. That would suggest they've got a pretty solid club on their hands.
No doubt about it. And, again, we got to see what the varsity team had in store for Princeton. And, that's – you always mark that in your schedule, not only just because, that's our quote-unquote rivals, but also just because they always produce good football talent over there. So a real test for our guys. But, the big thing I think we got to focus on is just, are we 1% better than what we were last week?
Well, that really seems to be the key, and the season is still fairly young, although it is moving along. Yeah. But where are we at here? What about week number 4, I would say already?
Already, I believe.
3, 4, whatever it is. So it's always amazing because, as you know, many people love, football in general, but they love high school football, and you wait for the longest time for it to get here, and it's amazing how quick it goes.
It's quite crazy to me, the idea, and it was always something that kind of got to me as a football player. You spend so much time preparing for a football season, yet it's technically the shortest season that you can play in sports, or in terms of games that you play. So a lot of preparation goes in for 9 games into a football season. So it's always tough as a player because you always want to play, especially at this age. So
oh, absolutely, yeah. And of course, if you follow certain professional teams and your team didn't do very well on a Sunday, you have all week long to rip your hair out, and then if they did well, you can be dancing out on the streets all week long. So yeah, it can produce a variety of emotions, can it?
You bet. And I'm a Saints fan. And I was just telling my kids, they were asking me, well, how was your weekend, Mr. Terry? I said, well, it was terrible. The University of Illinois just lost.
Oh.
The New Orleans Saints just lost, and then my Kewanee Boilermakers lost. So hopefully this week we'll choose a different fate for myself, but we'll see.
I got to tell you, because Indiana has been good in football the last couple of seasons, it did not surprise me that maybe Indiana was going to win. They were a 6.5-point favorite. So it ultimately didn't surprise me that they might win. But the margin of defeat, that's what caught my attention.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I honestly didn't even get the chance to watch the full game, but just at the beginning it just kept piling on them. And, even the coach at Indiana even mentioned, we needed to do what the U of I did to Duke, and that's what essentially we did. Won the turnover battle, but we had it happen to us. So a little twist of fate, if you will.
I didn't see the polls that would have come out earlier today. I suspect that with that, Indiana probably moves up to 13 or 14, and I'm guessing the line will drop to probably 15 or 16 or somewhere in there. But I guess we'll wait and see how that turns out. But in the meantime, Boilermakers wearing the home black uniforms, the black jerseys, the black pants, along with the white and orange letters and trim. Princeton wearing the road uniforms, the white jerseys, and that dark color of blue that they wear for the pants and also for the letters and the trim. Willie, as the season goes on, do the butterflies still hit you quite as hard, or has it become like, no, if we weren't playing tonight, we'd be practicing, no, we're ready to go? Do you kind of get into a mid-season form, so to speak?
I don't think it fully goes away, especially when we're talking about who's across the sidelines from us, especially with Princeton. But definitely still, those butterflies still continue to exist. But I definitely a little bit more confidence, you would think, heading into week 4. At least that's the way I would feel as a player. Yeah, and especially, we talked the first week with those freshmen, new experience, but now they're a little bit more acclimated to it. So excited to see what they got tonight.
For a fresh off game, we've got a pretty good crowd here this evening. Certainly here on the Kewanee side, you look over even to the Princeton side, where right now they're staring directly into the bright lights of the sunshine, and that's going to be the case for a little while longer. They've traveled well. And anytime you've got a team that's playing well, fans seem to have the ability to find them.
Absolutely, and there's no surprise in that. I mean, again, that's from professional to high school. Depending on how your team is, it always is kind of dependent on the type of fan base that you bring in. But, again, Princeton and Kewanee, I believe, in our conference, maybe I'm being a little biased here, but I feel like they always travel really well. Good fan bases in both places.
Yeah, I would agree, and it's a healthy rivalry. I'm sure some people over the course of time a little bit been more wound up than others. But, in any event, we're just going to get this game started. We'll bring you the starters as we have them for the Boilers. We don't have starters from the Princeton side, but we're going to kind of fill in the blanks best we can. I can tell you this. Number 12, Bryce Cochran, their quarterback, watching him warm up in the pregame, let me tell you what, that guy can throw the football. Boilers will be kicking off. As we look down on the field, it's a north-south field. We're looking from the west to the east, and the Riveters will be kicking off here as Dane Vandevelde, I believe, is going to be doing the kicking. And Dominic Sandoval is back deep for the Tigers. And let's see, as we're just about ready, waiting for the officials' approval. And off we go. Deep kickoff. It's going to bounce out of the hands of Dominique Sandoval. He'll pick it up around the 10 to 12. Comes to the right side to the 20. Oh, my, and a great open field tackle out there. And that was by Keimani Winters. Boy, he really come flying in on the play. Willie, that's a great start for the Boiler special teams.
Man, this is where did you get better? And already, I mean, on special teams, giving up, I would say, less than 10 at the very least. But Mr. Winters back out there again. That's where we kind of ended off on a high note with him last time we were together. So excited to see what he's going to put together for a game for us today.
All right, we get you the Boiler starters on defense here in just a moment. The Tigers to the sideline. They come back out on the field with their play. Pretty much ready to go at the line of scrimmage, which is the 20-yard line. And again, their quarterback is Bryce Cochran. They'll go with wide receivers on either side, a single setback to the right of the quarterback, and a slot man here to the near side right. First and 10, Princeton from their 20-yard line. There's the snap and a handoff into the middle of the line, and nothing doing here as the Boilers were on top of that one right now. The ball carrier was Reese Pearson, and I believe that was
58.
Looks like he's...
Let's see, 58. Where did our 58 go here?
I heard of Landon by our very own Mr. Christakos. So,
all right. So, very short game. We'll call it 2nd down and 9 for the Tigers from the Princeton 21. 2 receivers left, one to the near side right. Cochran, the quarterback, from the shotgun. Single setback to his right. Takes the snap, throws to the left. A little flanker pass, complete to the 20 to the 25. Oh. And that's going to do it. Good defense by the Boilers as Noah Gutschall will catch that ball. But the Boiler defense over there very, very quickly, led by Aiden Davis. And quickly, let's get you the Boiler defense, the starters. Defensive tackle, Braden Lynn. The nose guard is Tyree Graves. The defensive ends are Sergio Torres and Dane Vandevelde. Linebackers are Dylan Ruzas, Aiden Davis, and Ben Dana. The corners are Adam Yupson and Keimani Winters. Free safety is Matthew Sutherland. The strong safety is Jeremiah Reynolds. 3rd and 6 for the Tigers from their own 25, make it the 26-yard line. A little bit of a toss, trying to get to the outside right. Boiler defense coming up to turn the corner, but look out. The running back gets away down the right sideline to the 40. Pushed out here at about the 42-yard line. Keimani Winters over to kind of seal the deal outside, but Willie, the Boilers had that play contained to the outside, but could not get it shut down.
Yeah, this is, this is one of those things where you got to teach these young guys money downs, right? 3rd and 7 is an advantage for the defense. Got to correct the pursuit there. Plenty of ball game left, but correct the pursuit moving forward.
1st and 10 for the Tigers from the Princeton 42. This time the double wing formation, the quarterback under center, and the single setback straight behind. And that would be Mason Elliott, the fullback. And a blast right into the line. That's classic with double wing T. A couple of yards. It looks like maybe 3 on the play. Sandoval, the ball carrier. And for the Boilermakers, crashing down was Aiden Davis. Sergio Torres also into that mix as well. And Princeton quickly goes with the no huddle. And again, it's going to be the double wing with the single setback.
Oh, he's offsides.
And there's the flag. And Willie, you nailed it right on that one.
We have encroachment on Kiwanis.
So that's going to be a 5-yarder. It won't be quite enough for a first down, but it certainly makes Princeton's job a little bit easier. And Willie, in any sport, as you know, it doesn't matter what it is, eliminate penalties and turnovers to the best of your ability, and that'll automatically have you in a lot of games.
Absolutely. But again, like you just mentioned, now we're talking about a 2nd and 2 situation. Again, when you're talking game, this is very advantageous for Princeton. So now we respond. Probably predicting up a run right up the middle.
All right, the Tigers breaking huddle. And again, they're going to go with that double wing formation and a single setback. That's a toss. They're going to try to the right side with Pearson. It gets through the defense to the outside to the 45-40. Bumped out of bounds. Are going to be taken down just short of going out of bounds here. Pearson was the ball carrier.
Brought down by Reynolds. And that's why he picks up enough yards for another Princeton first down.
Well, let's see. We did get some number changes here today, but we did not get 58 for some reason. And I believe that was number 58 in on the tackle. First down for the Tigers, down to the Boiler 32. Quick snap. Off to the right side. Pearson again inside the 20. Finally brought down at about the 19. Maybe the 18 that time. Jeremiah Reynolds will make that tackle.
Looks like a little wildcat we just saw there from Pearson. He was in the quarterback spot.
Yeah, good catch. I was still looking over at the roster for a moment. There's Cochran now from the shotgun. It's a 1st and 10 at the Boiler 19. Quarterback keeper right up the gut. 4, 5, 6 yards. And the tackle made by Colton Witcher. 6'1" and 275. And he does a pretty good job of bringing Cochran to the turf that time.
2nd and 5.
But Princeton continues to go with that no huddle. This is the opening drive of the ball game. We'll go with a wing to the near side right from the shotgun. Going to be a counter back into the middle by Sandoval. Up inside the 5. Penalty flags flying all over the building.
We have a flag.
Dominique Sandoval inside the 10 down near the 5. But again, penalty flags are everywhere on this play. And this one's going to be marked off against the Boilers, half the distance of the goal.
Preliminary signals holding on Kiwanis.
And so it's going to be 2nd down and goal for Princeton, or would that be a first? It's going to be 2nd down and about 3 yards to go for the goal line. Princeton marching right downfield on this opening drive. And again, they'll go with that double slots to the right. Cochran from the shotgun. There's the snap, and Cochran is just going to walk this one in right behind the blocking of Noah Gutschall. Not much really in the way of resistance by the Riveter defense over there. And just like that, it's 6-0 Princeton with 5:08 here in the first quarter.
That no huddle really got to our guys there. You could see them kind of huffing and puffing, but Princeton just kept running the ball. They got that weird offense where they have 2 guys in the backfield. They're running back and quarterback, hands both up, so you don't know which one's getting snapped to.
Yeah.
I forgot about game plan against that. Not fun to play against, though.
So the traditional extra point attempt, the kick is up, and it is good. And the kicker was Braylon Clevenger. The hold by the quarterback, Bryce Cochran, and it's now 7-0 Princeton. And again, 5:08 here in this first quarter of play. And on that particular drive, Willie, not only did they just, the Tigers kind of not only march it downfield, pretty much a running series and kept that clock moving the whole time.
Yeah, and again, that's the tough part about coming off of a weekend and heading into a Monday game that I've never quite. I sympathize, I should say, with the kids. I mean, it's one thing to be game planning and being ready to go for a Friday night game like I was traditionally used to, but then you go from practice, day off.
Yeah.
And then it can't be easy. It cannot be easy.
That's a great perspective. I totally hear what you're saying. And like you say, the Friday night game, the weekend is upon us. It's the end of the week. And, that's the thing that everybody looks forward to. And that'll be the case this coming Friday night. And so we'll see how it goes. I'm happy to announce that I'll be getting to do a little bit of play-by-play this coming Friday. Steve Osborne will join me in the booth as the color commentator. But the Boilermakers will play host to the Hall Red Devils, and I see Hall just barely slipped by Sherrard the other day, 18-15.
That's what I've been hearing. So hopefully our boys have not lost faith in the season. A 5-4 record can get you into playoffs. We found out last year. So season's certainly not over for our varsity Boilermakers. But
we'll see how that goes Friday. That'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff. I have it for you right here on the Boiler live stream. Kickoff time for the Tigers. And for the Boilermakers, I believe that's Matthew Sutherland back deep. We'll check it. Here's the approach and the kick. Line drive way over the receiver's heads. Kamani Winters picks it up around the 5 to the right, now back to the left. Cutting upfield. Look out. He's loose to the 30, to the 40. Straight into the middle of the defense. Out across the 45. Going to be brought down at about the 47-yard line. And it almost appeared for a moment, had he been able to head toward that left sideline and curl it upfield, he might have been able to take it to the house, but that's splitting hairs, Willie. That's a pretty good run back.
Yeah, man, that has to feel good for the special teams here. And offense is in a really good spot just behind the 50. So, again, this is polar opposite from what we saw last. We gave up a touchdown last drive, but offensively, let's respond. It's all about response.
Cam Cernovich, the quarterback, fullback, Aiden Davis, halfback, Kamani Winters, wide outs are Adam Yepsen and Dane Vandevelde. We'll get you the lineman in just a moment. Receiver here to the near side left. Davis in motion down the line. Handoff straight ahead. A pickup of about 2.5 yards up to right around the midfield stripe that time. And so it's going to bring up second down and just a little under 8 yards to go. Let's get the lineman now for the Boilermakers. The right guard is Braden Lynn. The left guard is Colton Witcher. The right tackle is Tyree Graves. The left tackle is Dylan Ruzas. And Ben Dana is the center. 2nd and 8 for the Boilers, just short of the midfield stripe. Kewanee going right to left as we look down on the field.
Oh, no.
Handoff into the line to the first man, and it sounds like a fumble down on the field. Even worse, Princeton has recovered. And that is too bad because you had the kind of almost a sense that a little bit of momentum was going the Riveters' way.
Yeah, that's a tough play, but it looks like our backfield is fairly kind of fresh and new. So a little bit of a learning curve, I'm sure, taking place. Aiden Davis we didn't see in the backfield, but we're seeing him there now. I'm not saying he was responsible for that by any means, but a little learning curve here going on for the Riveters. Let's get a stop on defense, and we're right back to square one.
All right, let's see what happens here as Princeton goes to work 1st and 10 from their own 48-yard line. And again, that double wing formation is basically a running formation. Quarterback under center. Here's a counter coming back this way, looking to get to the outside right, back to the middle of the field. It's Pearson to the outside right to the 40 to the 30. He has a foot race to the 20 to the 10, and he's going to take this one 52 yards on that run. And just like that, it's 13-0 in favor of the Princeton Tigers. We also have a 44 for the Boilers out there, and I don't have a 44 either. Do you? Can you lock in on that one by any chance?
I'm not.
I know Davis is 45. Well, nevertheless, another kick coming up here for Princeton as Braylon Clevenger will be doing the kicking, and the hold will be from Bryce Cochran. 13-0. Riveters offsides. Kick is up. It's good. And I didn't see a penalty flag, so I guess no harm, no foul on that one. That'll push it to 14-0 with 4:07 left. So basically in less than 6 minutes, The Tigers already have 14 points, Willie.
Yeah, well, this unfortunately seems very synonymous to what we saw on Friday. But, again, plenty of game left. We just got to respond. You're going to get hit in the face once in a while. That's how you respond. So, looking for a good drive here. It started off pretty strong. Hopefully we get Kamani Winters back there and can give us a good return. Maybe house this one.
All right, let's see how that turns out. And I'm still not locating any number 44 in any of the paperwork I have. And Coach even gave us the different numbers earlier today, so not sure if anyone maybe can recognize who that is down there.
Must have a recruiting process going on or something.
I see. Well, another kickoff coming up here. And for the Boilers, Matthew Sutherland is deep. And I believe that's Kamani Winters back there, who just had a nice run a moment ago. Line drive kick off to the far side. Going to bounce inside the 10. Picked up over there by Sutherland, trying to go down the right sideline.
Yeah.
And he's going to be pushed out to about the 25, maybe the 27 up along in there. So not bad field position.
No, and a strong return. Again, we're starting to see guys move up north a little bit more than what we first were. So that kind of goes back to the point of, these young guys, they're starting to get some experience. Got the first hit a couple times. So feeling a little bit more confident with the ball in their hands. So that's good to see.
And once you get hit like that a time or two, the next thing you want to do is go hit somebody else.
Exactly.
But let's see what happens here first. Riveters to the line of scrimmage. Wide receiver to the near side left is Dane Vandevelde. It's an I formation for the quarterback, Cam Cernovich. A wing slotted to the right side. And a delayed handoff trying to come back this way to Winters. To the left, back to the inside, up to about the 30. And he's going to pick up that time about 2, maybe 3. Nice job, really, by Kamani Winters to kind of dance through that line. There wasn't a whole lot there, but he was able to slip through for a couple yards when otherwise, he picked up darn near 4, about 3.5, I guess. So I wasn't that far from being a loss on that play.
I think we're finding ourselves a little gem here with Winters. I'm excited to see what the next 4 years looks like for him. The kid plays hard. Like to put a little bit of muscle on him heading into the summer, and we're going to be talking about a good little football player, I think.
And also tonight, Tyree Graves getting a start, and nice to see Tyree out there. He's a big, solid guy, doing some blocking to the left, out of the back to the right, rather the run to the left.
There we go.
A nice spinning move by Walker Colomer, and I believe he's got the first down. Boy, that's great individual effort that time. They'd hit him, he spun, they hit him, he spun, and he leaned forward as he's going down. And that's the difference on that one.
Well done by the line there. Again, seeing them fire off the ball a little bit harder. It looks like just widespread. We're starting to just kind of put the pieces together. Now it all just comes to putting the whole game together. So we'll see if we can drive this one down the field and get ourselves a little points on the board.
1st and 10 for the Riveters from the Kewanee 37, making the 38-yard line. This time a tight formation with a single receiver here to the near side left. Offset backfield. And off to the first back through on the right side. Not much doing there this time. Only about a yard or so for Winters. He went right plowing into that stack. Check that. That's Aiden Davis on the carry. And
a couple, looks like.
Yeah, somewhere along in there, yeah. Jake Arkell's in on the tackle for Princeton. Going to be 2nd and 9 for the Riveters inside of 2 minutes here in this first quarter. 14-0 is the Princeton advantage. And the Boilermakers will break huddle. 2 receivers to the far side right, Dane Vandevelde and Walker Colomer. 2 receivers to the near side left. Cernovich from the shotgun takes the snap, back to throw, rooking right, now to the left, puts it up on top.
Oh!
Just overthrown as he was looking for Adam Yepson. Double coverage out there, and it appeared that the receiver might have slowed up on that route a little bit. Cernovich put a good ball up and over the top, but great effort by the receiver that time just to try and spin into the play. Unfortunately for the Rivs, it'll be incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down and 9 from the Kewanee 39-yard line.
Good to see Cerno look confident back there in the backfield again. Again, another one of those rising stars you can kind of just tell. He's got a good feel for the game, knows the game.
He got a pretty good arm, too.
Yes, he does. He does. Like you said, I think it was just an incomplete route run there, but Looks like we're struggling to get lined up here.
A little confusion here. They finally get them lined up, and it's going to be delay a game unless the Riveters, they do call a timeout just in time. And everyone was really, really confused on that. And, Willie, if you're a coach on the sideline, you've been working on this stuff for a while, and you see those things happen, boy, does that ever have to be frustrating.
Yeah, you would again, I've only been on it on the player side, but even then, some of the players, I'm sure, out there sitting like, wow, how are we not figured this out by now? But again, credit to these guys. It looks like the backfield is almost completely new from what we saw a couple weeks ago with Winters in the backfield now. You have Aiden Davis now rocking back there. So because it looks like Weir, kind of the special teams MVP a couple weeks ago, was in a boot on the sidelines, hoping for a speed recovery for him. But he's kind of obviously one of the guys that are missing in that backfield. So hopefully, I'm sure the coach is giving him grace as they're learning this kind of new positions for themselves.
You know, and I know that John Van Staten, his leg injury seems to have kind of increased. I don't think we're going to see him back this year. And that's too bad. He's got some good size and some physicality to him.
There's definitely nothing lacking in terms of size when it comes to some of these linemen that we've got coming up through the old portal. So that's at least a positive sign.
Back to live action, 3rd and 9 for the Riveters from the Kewanee 39. Here's the snap, handoff to Winters, trying to get to the outside right. He fumbles the ball. It's loose. It's on the field. Big mob over there. Princeton appeared to maybe have had the beat on it. Fortunately, the Boilers are able to fall on it. I think that was a case where the running back was simply looking upfield before he put that ball away.
Certainly.
2 yard loss. 1 yard loss.
Wow.
That 3rd and 9.
We have quite a contingent of youngsters over on the far side of the field. Not sure if they're marching or just going for a walk or what, but
I think we have some halftime entertainment today, Bob.
Oh, that's got to be it.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a palm clinic that they got going for the youngins.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. How cool. Well, it's a punting situation here for the Riveters. Dominique Sandoval is deep to field this ball for the Tigers back at about the Princeton 33-yard line. There's the snap and the kick. Good kick by Dane Vandevelde, but picked up on the run very quickly by Sandoval. Immediately out to the midfield stripe. Going to be brought down at the Boiler 47. Good open field tackle that time by Adam Yepsen. But Princeton in really good field position. They'll start off 1st and 10 at the Riveters 47-yard line. I've done so much soccer. I was thinking about all those kids down in front of that soccer net. And I thought, no, you don't want to be down there. But let's see what happens here. Tigers with good field position at the Riveter 47. Princeton leading 14-0. 29 seconds left here in this first quarter of play. Once again, I'm Bob McKee along with Willie Terry. Very nice to have you with us on this Monday evening. A very pleasant evening to be outdoors, I might add. For the Tigers, 2 receivers left, one to the near side right. Cochran from the shotgun. Takes a snap. Little flanker pass completed out to the left side this time. It's going to go to Noah Gutschall. He's going to break loose down that left side, picking up about 10 or 12, maybe even more. Walker Colomer is going to get the tackle, but the Tigers are going to move the chains at the line of scrimmage down to the Riveter 35-yard line. You know, Willie, you talked about progress earlier on, and as a team, they're still trying to kind of gel it, so to speak. And yet at the same time, you can see some individuals here and there that are really kind of starting to make their mark.
Yeah, they're starting to shine, which is cool to see.
Wide receivers either side, slot man to the left. Looked like somebody took off a minute early for the Tigers, but no flag. Pearson up the middle line of scrimmage, down inside the 20. Finally spilled to the turf at about the 19. Adam Yepsen is going to get the tackle, and that's going to bring the first quarter to a close. And after one, Princeton leads this ball game by a score of 14-0. Well, Willie, in one of the things that at this particular moment that has to be of concern for the Kewanee side of the whole deal is that should Princeton drive this in for a score, and they're already deep into Riveter territory, then you kind of start to get into that thing again of, here we go again on the scoreboard. And that's a tough spot to be in because, again, we are seeing some progress here and there. You don't want to be ran over in the process, though.
Absolutely not. But again, fresh game. Right now, it's finding a way to stop this Pearson guy from Princeton. So, which is kind of again all too familiar when it comes to Riveter football. Last time we were together, those Riverdale running backs really gave us grief. So, finding a way to contain these long runs and these long drives will suit the Riveters well. The offense definitely is that's where I feel like I'm seeing the most amount of progress, but the defense has got to be able to get stops.
It's kind of sobering when you look at the roster. Bryce Cochran, the quarterback for Princeton, he is a 6'2", 140-pound freshman. Reese Pearson, the running back we're talking about, 5'11", 155. He's a freshman.
My goodness.
Yeah.
It just doesn't stop, Bob. I'm telling you what, Princeton just has a way of developing.
Well, when you look at Cochran with that 6'2" frame, the way he stands in there, you might think he's maybe even a varsity quarterback.
Absolutely.
Nevertheless, here we go. Second period just underway. Tigers with a little pass here with a fake to the left. They're going to run it back to the right. Look out. This is another big gainer. I think that they pulled that one out of the Ben Johnson playbook that time. And Dominique Sandoval down inside the 5 where it's 1st and goal for the Tigers. And again, that fake out to the left side. They're going to slip to the right, short of the goal this time. And the Tigers will be facing 2nd and goal right at the Riveter 2-yard line. When you can see that no-huddle offense that Princeton ran early on has the Riveters kind of bouncing back quick, almost as if they're expecting it.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see this at their fresh off level, but you can tell it's based on momentum. So those power plays that the Princeton Tigers are getting, that's when they're running, get on the ball, get on the ball, get on the ball. And then you see a shorter yardage gain there, and then they're back in the huddle. So pretty impressive, and that's a lethal attack.
The Tigers this time with that power formation to the right where they put 2 running backs in the backfield, slotted to the right side. And it's going to be the Wildcat, as Willie called it a moment ago. And it's going to be a touchdown this time for the Princeton Tigers. And a 21 is in there.
That was the OG Pearson, but yeah. I don't know who he swapped with.
I don't know. I wish they would stop doing things like that. Nevertheless, I'm sure that everyone wishes Princeton would stop doing things like that. It's 20-0 with 8:48 in the first half of play. Extra point attempt coming up here. And the kick by Braylon Clevenger is up and good. And just like that, it's 21-0 in favor of the Tigers. Again, 8:48 here in this first half of play. Willie, how do you stay motivated when you kind of start to see that, hey, where have we heard this song before?
Well, that's a complicated question, Bob, because I think it really comes down to what is the kids or anybody's mental toughness, right? Like life, we're not just coaching these kids to be better football players. We're coaching these kids to make them better human beings and being able to respond to this type of adversity. So you're going to have the ones that, they have a little ache and pain and they're going to call it an injury, right? So they can sit out. Or you're going to see the ones that are still going to try make it, doing their best with the plays that they got and not taking this for an advantage. Because, I've checked a recent statistic, Bob. I think only 9% of kids in the United States play college sports. So you get 1 or 2 maybe from each school at some, different type of levels, whatever the sport. So taking advantage of this while you still get a chance and realizing that this is not just about becoming better football players, but about becoming a better man and the purpose of this. And obviously for the women who do participate in football as well, becoming a better woman as well. So,
great perspective. Yeah. Totally appreciate that. All right, for the Boilermakers, Matthew Sutherland and Kamani Winters back deep to feed this next kickoff. Here's the approach by Braylon Clevenger.
Oh, no.
Little short end over end to the near side here. You can see what the Tigers had in mind. And the Riveters will come out of there pretty decent on that one as Jeremiah Reynolds will fall on the ball. You could tell they were trying to flood that zone, simply stealing the ball and maybe even running it right in.
Yeah, that was unfortunately one of those where they were just experimenting a new type of kickoff on us. But we responded well. There we go. There's one good response we got.
All right, let's see what happens. Riveters will have pretty decent field position. They're going to be starting off first and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
I'd like to see Camden be able to throw the ball a little bit to some of his guys. Maybe we'll get that this drive.
Wide receiver to the far side left is Dane Vandevelde. Slot man here to the near side right is Adam Yubson. Quarterback Cernovich under center. Fakes the throw back. He's going to the left side, up and over the top. He's got it. He does. It's going to be a completion to Vandevelde on the left side. Still on his feet. Inside the 50, inside the 40.
There we go.
Pushed out of bounds over on the far side at around the 45-yard line. And that is a nice play by the quarterback and the receiver. And the fact that the quarterback had time to throw, Willie, that would tell us the line did their job as well.
Absolutely. That's what you like to see from the Riveters. There we go. What a response. Stay on it. Stay on it. Keep the foot on the gas a little bit here.
At the Princeton 36-yard line, that's the biggest gainer of the game so far for the Riveters. First and 10, Kewanee. And the Riveters, again, with the wide receiver to the far side left is Dane Vandevelde. And they go with a flanker slotted to the near side right, Adam Yepson. It's the same formation as a moment ago. This time handoff to Keimani Winters into the line. And unfortunately, he's going nowhere on this one. He was absolutely planted that time. And a tackle made that time by Colton McCarter. And also Parker Frew. And I guess they're going to give him a yard on the play, but boy, that was a very well-earned yard.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, that speaks to the point, a couple weeks ago we would have been running to the sidelines. Instead, we're going up the gut. That's good. It's good to see a little bit more confidence from our ball carriers.
2nd and 9 for the Riveters from the Princeton 35-yard line. Kewanee breaks huddle. And again, the wide receiver to the far side left, this time Walker Colomer. It's going to be a spread with wides and slots on both sides. Boilers are confused and disorganized, and they're going to have to call another timeout there. And, again, just guys not getting to their spots on the field quick enough. Next thing you know, the clock is an issue, and then the next thing you know, you've got to burn that second timeout.
And, again, learning moment. Hopefully something, and I'm sure it's something that they're going to take to the film room. When you have your opponent on their heels like we just did right there, right? And to have to call a timeout because we can't get in the right formation, that puts them right back on their toes. That puts them in the striking distance in terms of the Tigers against us. So,
and it not only does it knock your momentum out, but it says to your opponent as they were kind of starting to back up a bit and say, hey, what's going on here? When they see that, it's like, not that big of a deal after all. And so it really goes quickly. And Willie, I don't need to tell you that sports, playing the games of various sports, a lot of emotion is involved, and emotions for a variety of reasons, and on and on and on. I'm not sure that there's a more emotional sport maybe than football.
No, I don't know if there is, because it's, and you can argue it in all sports, but just one thing, something as simple as calling a timeout is a drive. It can sometimes be a drive killer, a game loser or winner. So hopefully we respond, maybe drew up something good here.
All right, back to live action from the spread. Wides and slots both sides. Single set back to the right of the quarterback. Cernovich from the shotgun. Here comes the pressure. Look out. And Cerno was lucky to get rid of that ball because the Tigers sent the house, and there were 4 defenders raining down on the Riveter quarterback. He was lucky to get rid of the ball. It's incomplete, but lucky to get rid of the ball at all that time.
Yeah, and again, this kind of proves the point of what we were just talking about. A half a second would have gave Camden Cernovich, Winters had his guy burnt deep downfield. But again, it's a game of seconds is the crazy thing. If you give him another half a second, see Winters, he was gone.
Many years ago, we heard that phrase, sports is a game of inches. Mm-hmm. They weren't fooling.
No.
Again, from the spread, wides and slots both sides. We've got people taking off early. The ball is going to be snapped over the head of the quarterback. Ball's loose on the field. It's going to be recovered by Princeton. And Cernovich is down, and he got creamed on that play. I believe that it should have been a call against the Boilers for being offsides or a false start, one of the two. And Cam Cernovich is down holding that left leg. The heat was on him that time, and, of course, the snap up and over the top. And Cam did a great job just to get back there and get to the ball to try and save possession. It squirts away from him. Princeton did recover, and I'm not sure if they're going to say that Princeton got there after the ball was down, but this is not good as Camden Cernovich is being helped off, and he's not able to put any weight on that left leg at all.
And again, it's unfortunate that that was all based in kind of a rush snap. There was only 2 seconds left on the play clock there, so I think just a little bit of a miscommunication took place. Hoping for something minor with Cernovich, but it's not reaffirming the fact that he's not walking on his own 2 feet.
I think I see 2 number 76s for the Boilers out there. Is that right? That can't be right, can it?
Hopefully it's 78 and we're seeing it wrong, right?
Yeah, I sure hope so. Well, nevertheless, Princeton did recover 1st and 10, just short of the midfield stripe. Little flanker pass out here in the near side, going to be knocked down. Good quick reflexes that time by Dean Vandevelde, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
You weren't lying, Bob. That is 2 76s out there, but thankfully my my knowledge as a teacher hopefully affirms me here. I believe we have a Colton Witcher, and Tyree Graves both wearing 76.
I think Tyree's on this side here.
Yep.
Well, I guess if your closet's bare, you got to take whatever's there, I guess.
Yeah.
2nd down and 10, just short of midfield for Princeton. This time 2 receivers left, one to the far side right from the shotgun. Cochran looks to left upfield. He's got a man open upfield, and that's going to be pass interference there. Unfortunately, that time, Walker Colomer got caught with his hand reaching out for the receiver. The receiver was Colby Pollock, and the thing that surprises me a little bit there, Willie, is given what we saw in the pregame warm-ups, Cochran was throwing dimes to Colby Pollock out there. That ball floated up and hung up in the air for a while, and that's what in part led to the interference. And no question Colomer was out of play, but still, I was a little surprised. I thought they were going to drop that ball more on a line drive.
Yeah, I don't know if he misgripped it or what, but that was kind of out of character for Cochran there. Could have been a lucky break, but unfortunately got the PI, so. Got another number mix-up in there.
Yeah, still trying to get to the bottom of that. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Somebody must not have done the laundry this weekend. 2 receivers right, 1 to the near side left. Cochran, the quarterback from the shotgun. There's the snap, a little bit tossed to Pearson to the outside, to the 30. Picks up a block to the 25, 20 to the 15 to the 10. Racing down the sideline, pushed out of bounds. Over on the far sideline, just inside the 15 at about the 14, somewhere along in there. And it's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Princeton Tigers right from the Boiler 14-yard line. 7:24 in this first half. Princeton leading 21-0. Tigers will break the huddle. Tight formation this time. Again, that double wing formation. Cochran, the quarterback, stepping in under center. Here's a counter back this way to Sandoval. Look out. All it is a foot race, and he's going to make it all the way to the end zone. Nobody's going to touch him. And it is now 27-0 in favor of Princeton. Boy, Sandoval made that look easy, and you could see Willie, once he broke past that initial spot in the backfield, you could see the angle. And at that point, you knew it was just a foot race.
Yeah, really, all he had to beat was his offensive lineman who was pulling. So then not really well contested there.
Braylon Clevenger to do the extra point attempt. Kick is up. And this one is good. And it makes it now 28-0. Princeton with 7:18 here in this second quarter of play. Well, in terms of the scoreboard, the news could not be any worse for the Riveters. And you're going to think we're going fishing when we say this. And, I understand there has been some individual play that's been noteworthy a couple of times along the way, but collectively it's just not been enough.
Yeah, let's be curious to see what this offensive drive each time. It seems like we're making progress, but then, we're one timeout, one fumble, one delay of game, one false start, one illegal motion that that just keeps biting us in our tail here. So the question is when, right? It's always the question, when do we break through?
Well, they're working on Cam Cernovich's left ankle down here, wrapping it up. I wouldn't be surprised to see him back out there because he didn't want to come out, but he was hobbling off pretty good. So let's see what the prognosis is there. On the scoreboard, the prognosis is 28-0 Princeton with 7:18 here in this first half. Tigers to kick off again, going from right to left. And once again, Braylon Clevenger will do the kicking. Here's the approach. And a short kick. They're trying to get the offsides. Look out, and or the onside kick, and I think they might have done that. The ball got just past the 50.
Unfortunately, I think our front guy caught it with his legs.
Yeah, I think so.
Are they counting that? They are counting that possession.
Wow, okay. Well, we'll take it. Kevin Beltran is going to get credit for the reception. The ball has to go 10 yards in that situation. It went exactly 11. All right. Riveters headed back out on the field, and now Cam Cernovich is not going out. They're still working on his ankle. So we'll see if we can find out who the new quarterback is for the Kewanee Riveters. As the line of scrimmage at the Boiler 49.
We got Dane running the quarterback now? Ah.
Yep, Dane Vandevelde will be stepping in. Steps in under center. Handoff straight ahead. Kewanee Winters right into the middle of the line. He's going to be pushed back instantly. I believe he picked up a yard to the midfield stripe, but that's going to be about it. Winters quickly out of his step to get in there very quickly. And you have the impression that he's one of those guys that can hit the hole very, very quickly. Unfortunately, the hole did not exist that time.
No. And, again, with the inexperience of him in the backfield, I'm excited to see with him working through some progressions because it looks like the handoff is just a little kind of slow and delayed. So maybe with some practice and some work, we can get him shooting like a cannon.
All right, let's see what happens here. Wide receiver left, flanker to the near side right. And again, handoff to Winters. And again, he's absolutely stuffed at the point of attack.
Winner, the ball carrier.
They're just getting mauled at the line of scrimmage. And I think right now they're staying as conservative as they can possibly be with Cernovich over here on the sideline nursing that ankle situation.
Yeah, well, with a game like this, looking like this, we're not going to come back running. So I'm assuming we're going to give Vandevelde the chance to throw the ball, at least I would guess.
And let's see, and I don't even see, oh, there he is. Okay, Cernovich down there, and you can tell even after they wrap the ankle, he's hobbling. Well, let's see how it turns out. Third down, and 10 yards to go.
Got a
ball back to the Riveter 49. And again, Vandevelde will be the quarterback, this time from the shotgun. Back to throw, fires it to the left side, going to be complete out there. It's a short gainer. Look out, the receiver refuses to go down, and he's going to spill forward for about 6. Walker Colomer on the catch. And the line of scrimmage will move down to the Princeton 44.
Good little throw there by Vandevelde. Okay. Colomer with a good play. Didn't want to go down. Tough running from him, really, realistically, all day. Assuming we're talking 4-down territory here, 4-down game, whatever you prefer to call it.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, 4th and about 3 to go from the Princeton 44-yard line. 28-0 is the Princeton advantage on the scoreboard. Clock moving inside of 5 here in this first half. I'm Bob McKee, along with Willie Terry. Nice to have you with us on this Monday evening.
We're going to take a delay of game.
And again, penalties and turnovers. Well, they got the timeout in time, but that's the 3rd time in this first half they've had to burn a timeout for that very reason.
And this is where you hope it doesn't bite us in the tail again at the end of the quarter, and we're driving down the field and run into a situation where we're out of time. Never want to burn it this early, all 3, this early. Again, learning experience, something to take with them.
Well, it's just a tough spot right now for the Riveters as Kewanee trails 28-0 with 4:44 in this first half of play. And Riveters trying to get something going. They've had a couple of little plays here and there that were pretty decent, but just unfortunately not able to kind of maintain any momentum. So for the Riveters, Princeton here tonight. Next Monday, they're at Hull over in Spring Valley. Monday, October 6th, they'll be back here to play host to Mendota. 13th on the road, they'll be at Sherrard. October 20th, playing host to Sterling Newman. And then on the 27th, the season finale at Orion. And that'll be a 5:30 kickoff against the Orion Chargers over there. So, again, the season is starting to move along just a little bit. Week number 4 already just about ready to wrap up. And if it's a regular season, it's just 9 games. So it's moving along. Let's see if the Riveters can move along here, facing third. And about 3.5 from the Tiger. Make that fourth down, a bigger pardon, from the Tiger 44. Dane Vandevelde at quarterback. Another flag on the play. And Princeton reacting like this one's against the Boilers. I would have guessed, if I had to guess, I would have said delay a game.
The most disheartening part about that right there is you come straight out of a timeout.
Yes.
And you still manage to pick up a flag.
And I didn't see the official signal, but I'm sure that was delay a game. Now it's going to be 4th down and 8, back out to the Princeton 49. Still, the Riveters will go for it. And this time kind of from the full house with a flanker to the right, a receiver to the left. Vandevelde to throw from the left side.
Oh.
Ball up. It's going to be caught by Monty Winters. He climbed the ladder to catch that one down at the 38. And not only enough for the first down, but Willie, how savvy for the receiver to know where that stick was.
I tell you what, you can't deny the fact, both levels, what I've noticed is that our receiving room is so strong. We just have to find a way for our quarterbacks to have time, feel confident in the pocket, and an offensive line that's going to be strong enough to give their quarterback some time.
Credit Dane Vandevelde coming in to replace Cam Cernovich, and he's done a halfway decent job. 1st and 10 for the Riveters from the Princeton 38. There's the snap. Vandevelde to throw to the right side. It's caught out here in the flank. It's going to be complete for a pickup of about 4 yards that time. And for the Boilermakers, Matthew Sutherland on the catch. Noah Gutschall is the tackler for the Princeton Tigers, but a pickup of about 3.5. And all of a sudden, the Riveters are moving just a little bit here.
Yeah, this is where you'd like to see. Yeah, you went 2 straight passes, got them on their heels a little bit. Go for a quick run right up the gut or outside run. Hopefully, this gives the offensive line some caboose behind them. Block a little bit harder. Seeing some momentum swing our way.
All right, from the Tiger 35, it's going to be 2nd down and 6 for the Riveters. This time, double flankers. And the pro set backfield. Vandevelde steps in under center. Now we got lots of two men in motion. Penalty flags flying everywhere. And this is going to be another penalty against the Riveters. 2 men in motion. One of them actually moving forward at the time of the snap. So I guess just kind of pick whichever ailment you wish to pick on. But
now you had a
Tigers going to they're going to decline the penalty, and so the line of scrimmage at the Princeton 34, where it's going to be 3rd down and about 6.5. We're going to call it about. They're moving things up a little bit, so about 5.5 yards to go here on 3rd down from the Tiger 34-yard line. 2 receivers left, one to the near side right. Single setback. On a low snap, good job by Vandevelde to pick it up. Gets rid of the ball very quickly. It's complete inside the 30 to Adam Yupson. I believe that's a hair short of the first down, but it's going to be very, very close. I don't think he's quite there, but I'm going to say that that's about a half yard short on that one. Noah Gutschall in to make the tackle, but whether you're going to like that, Vandevelde gets that ball out of his hands very quickly.
Yeah, well, He lost an option, too, because I'm almost positive Mr. Clark up here, the numbers guy, he just broke the news to me that we only had 10 guys.
Well, just imagine what you could do with that full 11th man out there. Well, nevertheless, this time Van de Velde under center. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Here's a quarterback keeper. He's going to slide forward, and I believe he's got enough for the first down. As they're going to get down to about the Princeton 28, and that is enough for the first down that time.
Don't look too soon, Bob, but my whole fear of us getting a little too close to that buzzer at the end of the quarter, we might run into.
Yeah, that is a distinct possibility. At the Tiger 28, 1st and 10 for the Riveters. This is the longest drive of the evening so far for Kewanee. 2 receivers left, 1 to the near side right. Single setback this time. To the right of the quarterback.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Yeah, that does look a little discombobulated. Van de Velde on a keeper to the right side. Down near the 25, and he's going to be mauled there. Brought down at about the 24. A host of tacklers and a host of yellow flags dotting the field once again. That's too bad because they had momentum going. Now Van de Velde comes out, or he's just going to get the play on the sideline as Walker Colomer will check in.
I can't believe it, but the most adversity we've faced offensively, this has been the longest drive we've had.
Well, the line of scrimmage back out to the 33 of Princeton. There was a 5-yard penalty there.
We have too many now?
And so... Well, anyway, 2 receivers left, 1 to the near side right from the shotgun. Van de Velde takes the snap. Here comes the pressure. Rolling to the left, throwing out there.
Oh, my.
It's going to be caught somehow. Don't ask me how, but a great catch by Walker Colomer. He was double teamed, and as soon as the ball was in his hands, they were throwing him to the turf. He still hangs on, and that's a very, very nice play by Walker Colomer.
Tackled by
Down to the 26 of Princeton. And a quick snap. Van de Velde to throw to the right side. Going to be behind the receiver. In fact, even behind the defender.
Got hit hard.
And Van de Velde paid the price for that one as the Princeton lineman got in that time. And I can tell you what, Jake Arkles is a big fellow.
Well, that stops the clock at least. That's kind of favorable in terms of the Riveters situation at this point.
Well, like you said, using a third timeout earlier might come back to bite you.
Yeah,
And I don't know if this is that or not, but you'd rather have that one at your disposal.
For a team that I don't know if we really run no-huddle offense, if we convert this third down, we really might.
All right, let's see what happens from the spread. Receivers and slots on both sides. Van de Velde to throw up to the left side. He's got a man downfield. That should be interference there. And instead, it's going to be an interception down the right sideline. Intercepted by Dominique Sandoval. It gets a little bit chippy over there on that sideline. But Sandoval stepped in, and it's too bad because Kewanee Winters had broke loose upfield, and the ball was up. The defender come over and faced guarded him the entire way. But in the meantime, Sandoval slips underneath and gets the interception, and so that's too bad. The Riveters had a nice drive going, and so with 1:04 in the first half, 28-0 Princeton, and the Tigers will take over from their own 30-yard line. That's a tough one, Willie.
Yeah, again, like you said, though, an impressive drive, especially for Dane, who we haven't seen get reps at the Q, but at least something positive to look forward to for the Riveters.
Well, if you're Princeton, do you just work the clock to halftime, or do you try and put it up and see what more you can get?
If I know Princeton, I think they're going to go to the
Yeah, it's going to be a counter coming back this way. And I believe that was Sandoval on the carry. It was. Matthew Sutherland in on the hit. And the Phantom number 44.
Oh, boy. We're not even set up yet.
Yeah, and Princeton is going quick, aren't they? From the shotgun. Cochran takes the snap, looks left. Flanker pass out here. It's going to be caught by Gutschall. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, no, bigger pardon.
You know, Bob, what I was thinking of while I'm watching this take place here on this drive specifically, this is good practice for both squads here. You know, and almost for the Riveters, you almost make this like your own little mini game and trying to get a stop, you know, heading into a quarter. And then for Princeton, in terms of Princeton, you know, two-minute drill essentially is what this has turned into.
All right, let's see what the Tigers do here. Two receivers right, one to the near side left. Cochran from the shotgun, single set back to his right. There's the snap. Cochran to throw. Here comes the pressure. He rolls out to the left side, up to the 40, to the 45. Steps out of bounds here at the Princeton 47, maybe the 48. He was hounded over there by Matthew Sutherland, but enough for the Tigers to move the chains. And you can tell they're trying to sniff out one more score before the break. 31 seconds in the half, 28-0 Princeton. Credit the Boiler defense for shutting down those big routes there, because you got to think Cochran would be looking to go downfield if it was there.
Absolutely. Good little coverage. Good coverage there by the Riveters. Got to keep it up here. They're definitely going to try throwing deep.
First and 10 for the Tigers from their own 47. Cochran once again from the shotgun. There's the snap. Hand off to Ryan Pearson. Outside, inside. Now to the 50, to the outside. Gets a block to the 45-40. Tries to cut it back inside. Now pushed out of bounds on the far side. And about the Boilermaker 33-yard line. And they're doing, Princeton's doing a great job of using the clock. Still 22 seconds in the half.
Yeah, I mean, well, credit to the freshman guy out there, Pearson, running out of bounds, knowing that it stops the clock. Also, I guess I was wrong in my prediction of passing the ball. Why pass the ball when you got Pearson in the backfield?
They seem to have the package, don't they?
I guess.
Two receivers left, one to the far side right. Cochran, the quarterback from the shotgun, the single set back just to the right of him. And Cochran takes the snap, looking to throw left. Here comes some pressure. Can he get away from it? He does. He steps up. Now he's going to be caught from behind and thrown down to the turf. Great tackle by Matthew Sutherland. From his free safety position, he brought Cochran down. And Cochran's a pretty good athlete, I'd say. So the Tigers taking that timeout at the line of scrimmage at the Riveter 38-yard line. 10.7 seconds left. Well, you got to think if you're Princeton, you take that timeout, you're probably looking to put it up fairly deep here. Unless you're just hoping maybe somebody gets loose underneath.
Yeah, they got 2 timeouts to work with after this. So I guess depending on how confident they are in Cochran's leg, maybe they hit us deep and then get a field goal. Who knows?
All right, let's see how it plays out. Tigers back on the field. They're ready to go. Again, they've got it at the Riveter 38. We're at second down and about 6. But I beg your pardon, about 15. But really the big thing is with the clock down to 10.7 seconds left. For the Tigers, you're just trying to see if you might be able to squeeze something out. And, of course, for the Riveters, you want to hold steady and keep them from scoring again before the break. Let's see what happens here. I'm impressed by the size of the crowd for a fresh-off game. Well, that tells you we've got some good football fans here in Kewanee.
Absolutely, no doubt about it.
Wide receivers on either side. Slot man to the near side left. Cochran hands off to Pearson. To the outside, back to the inside, back to the outside. Gets a block. Down to the front of the right side. And he get out of bounds. He does right about the 10 with 2.1 seconds left. And
my goodness, I think they're kicking it.
I was going to say they've got an opportunity for one more play. And Kewanee Winters continues a nice first half as he got the push out of bounds over there. Because if he doesn't do that, Pearson's going to take it in. And they are going to try and field goal here. This would be wide from the 16. So this would be a 26-yarder from the right hash mark. Bryce Cochran to hold. Braylon Clevenger to do the kicking. The snap, the place the kick. It's up deep enough, and it appears to be good. It is. And at intermission, 31-0 now in favor of the Princeton Tigers. I know we got some halftime stuff going on here, so Willie and I'll be back with some numbers and some analysis a little bit later on in the break, but right now we're going to just let the camera upstairs do the job. We've got some youngsters that will be coming out on the field, and so we're just going to kind of keep quiet for a while and let you enjoy all the festivities here at the break. And again, at halftime, Princeton leading the Riveters 31-0. We're back in just a little bit here on the Boilermaker live stream. Back once again here at the Kewanee High School football stadium as we get set for the second half of play to come underway here. And it's a tough one for the Riveters at the break. 31-0 is the Princeton lead. The Tigers getting I believe it's about a 36-yard field goal just before half. And Willie, unfortunately, all the scoring highlights belong to the Tigers.
Yeah, we got, I believe it's Clevenger, who's been their kicker. He's went 4 for 4, 4 for 4 for PATs. And also, again, like you had just mentioned, hit a 36-yard field goal for 3. In terms of scoring for the Tigers, we have Pearson with 2 touchdowns at this point. And then Sandoval also is going to add into that touchdown. Honestly, thunderstorm that we've seen. But realistically, the big name, Pearson at the moment for the Tigers. In terms of the Riveters, no real scoring drives in terms of scoring, putting points on the board. However, some strong plays from Vandevelde. We got to see him later in the second half playing quarterback as Caden Cernovich is down and injured at the moment. Put together a strong drive, but unfortunately got intercepted by 3 of the Tigers' Matthew Bombs. We've also seen some strong runs from Kamani Winters, kind of chomping at the bit in terms of striking in the middle. But again, as I had mentioned, just not enough for the Riveters quite yet.
No, unfortunately, that is the case. And credit Dane Vandevelde for coming in at the quarterback position, filling in for Cam Cernovich. Cam with a sprained left ankle, it appeared, at least from here. And Dane Vandevelde came in and did actually a pretty decent job. So that certainly does speak well of him. Well, let's take this opportunity once again to mention our Boiler Booster live stream sponsors. And they include Gustafson Ford of Kewanee, OSF St. Luke Medical Center of Kewanee, Great Dane of Kewanee, the Community State Bank, Galva and Kewanee, Kewanee Physical Therapy and Rehab Specialist, Martin Engineering of Neponsit, the Kewanee Schools Foundation, Edward Jones in downtown Kewanee, Cernovich's Auto and Truck Wrecking of Kewanee, the People's National Bank, Cerno's Bar and Grill, and Coco's Coffee Shop, both in downtown Kewanee, the Mel Foster Company, Breedlove Sporting Goods in downtown Kewanee, the Ed Morse Automotive Group, Chevy and GM of Kewanee, Hammond Henry Hospital, Geneseo and Kewanee, Union Federal Savings and Loan, Goods Furniture of Kewanee, and the State Bank of Toulon. Thanks to those sponsors for making all of this a possibility. Many live stream sponsors. We have the Jumbotron still available if you might have a business or organization that would like to be in on that. And then, of course, many wonderful sponsors in town stepping forward to make our fall and winter sports books a reality as well. So thanks to one and all, very, very nice that we have such a wonderful community. And, you know, Willie, I'm not sure who this young man in the gray shirt is down here throwing the football on the sideline, but whoever he is, he can really throw it. I wonder if there's a place for him somewhere.
Looks like that'd be Abe Hicks on the varsity team.
Okay, that would explain it.
Yeah, he's just kind of an uber athlete, and it's, the problem that I feel like we're running into in terms of injuries and just kind of the athletes and the build of our varsity team. If you take them away from one place, then you're hurting in another. Mm-hmm. It's kind of one of those, unfortunately, one of those areas of concern, I'm sure. And maybe where he best fits is Q, or receiver, I should say. He's a star receiver in terms of the varsity team. But, sticking on to the varsity team, I'm really excited to see, they've had a tough bout. I feel like it's kind of a common pattern in terms of Kewanee football. The beginning of their seasons always seems like it's the strongest opponents to begin with. So I'm kind of excited to see him get a team where it's a little bit of a lighter load in terms of team-wise. I mean, we've played Princeton, we've played a Riverdale program that's just seems like it's oozing with talent between the fresh, soft, and the varsity levels. And, see a team maybe where we're matched up a little bit better against heading into this week.
Well, we'll see how it all turns out. And, each week is a new timeout. You never know what's going to happen one way or the other. And let's face it, the Boilers have been blessed with some major league talent here for probably the last, 4, 5, 6 years, whatever the time frame would be. And you don't always have all of the blue chippers every year, but you take what you've got, you work with it, you want to see the guys get better, make progress, and that's really the name of the game, particularly, as you mentioned, Willie, a couple of times at this level. Yes, wins and losses are part of it, but developing talent, and even more so, as you said, developing character for young men. That's kind of the name of the game. Sometimes it's easier to do that when you're winning, of course, but that is the challenge.
Yeah, and I was just watching something, or I heard something that really has resonated with me since the day I heard it, sometimes last week, and it's everybody knows how to win, but how do people know how to lose? You have to be, in order to be able to win, you have to be able to know how to lose. I wish I remember who told me that specifically, but that rings. You got to be able to know how to lose, be able to respond, and I know that's kind of been the word I keep repeating. I sound like a broken record on stream right now, but response is so important.
Yes, that is certainly the case, and you're always hoping for the best, and you give it your best shot, and it works out differently at different times. Well, in any event, the Riveters are out ready for the second half kickoff, as they will be going left to right or headed to the south end zone. Princeton coming back out. They'll be doing the kicking off, and it will be Kamani Winters and also Matthew Sutherland back deep for the Riveters. Unfortunately, it's Princeton on the scoreboard, 31-0, as we're just about set to get our second half underway. Once again, I'm Bob McKee along with Willie Terry. Very nice to have you with us here on this Monday evening. Weather-wise, it is really, really pleasant to be outdoors, I can tell you that. Here's the approach, and the second half, off we go. Fielded by the Boilers at the 15. Sutherland has it to the right side of the 15 to the 20. Out to the 25, the 30, still on his feet, up to about the 34, where he's going to be brought down here on the near side. And the leading tackler for Princeton will be Eli Osborne. And their phantom, number 21, back there as well. For some reason, I don't know why we see this more with the fresh off games. You do see it in varsity at times, but a lot of numbers have been changed at the last minute. So I'm guessing that as some people looked into their closet, they were rummaging around. Anyway, line of scrimmage will be marked at the Kewanee 35. We're at his 1st and 10 for the Riveters. And they'll send a wide receiver, Walker Colomer, to the 5 side left. Dane Vandevelde remains at quarterback. Cam Cernovich with a sprained left ankle. Looked like movement on that left side before the snap. Winters is going to get the ball on the handoff, trying to get to the left side. He's going to be tackled immediately by Reese Pearson.
Does it on both sides.
Yeah. And a loss that time of, it's going to be a loss of 2. It almost appeared that it was going to be worse than that. So it's going to bring up 2nd down and 12 for the Riveters from the Kewanee 33-yard line. Again, the second half just underway. On the scoreboard, unfortunately, it's all Princeton right now, 31-0. Cam Cernovich had a sprained ankle in that first half. They've got him wrapped up, but he's not been back since, and I doubt seriously that we're going to see him. In the meantime, Dane Vandevelde has stepped in and done a fairly credible job in his absence. Wide receiver left, flanker to the near side right. Offset backfield, penalty flag. This is probably delay a game, I'm guessing.
One thing, and I have to say this, one thing that is just killing the offensive lineman in me right now is watching our offensive lineman walk to the football.
Yeah.
Has to change. It's just such small things, Bob, that you can't couple that with delay of games.
I totally agree. I think that's a great point, Willie. Handoff right into the middle of the line. Nothing doing on this one. Kamani Winters gets the handoff, and he goes straight in reverse. That's not his fault. Nobody was blocking up front. And just as Willie pointed out, very timely, in fact. But, you're right. You see a team break a huddle, or crisp. Everybody's hands are clapping, and bingo, everyone's running to the line of scrimmage. That's a great point.
And it kind of speaks to the getting blown off a lot. Like, that doesn't – you walking to the ball does not speak that confidence that you need at that type of position, and like that raw, like, yeah, we're coming at you. You know what I mean? I just think that it actually speaks for itself. And well, we walk to the line, we get a delay of game, and then we get a loss of 5. So
I think you make an excellent point on that one. And as you say, as a former offensive lineman, that's the kind of thing that kind of sticks with you.
yeah.
Gabe Heaton, the injured Tiger, down, and he's now up walking across back to the sideline, walking on his own power. So glad to see that. Boilermakers facing third down and about 18 yards to go. They're at the Kewanee 27. They've got to get up to the 45. Wide receivers on either side. Vandevelde from the gun takes a snap. He'll throw on the run to the right side. It's going to be complete out here to the 30. Nice job by Matthew Sutherland to beat a couple of defenders. He's all the way out across the 40. Brought down at about the 41, maybe the 42. Danny Gilbertson making the tackle out here in space, but that's a nice play that time by the Riveters.
Tough reception there, too. It looked like Dane got that knocked out of his hands a little bit, and Sutherland stays with it. He again, that wide receiver room, it just looks so good from top to bottom. It's again, it comes down to, can we get them the ball? And the varsity's finding themselves in a similar situation at the moment, right? So again, it's a development process, and we're going to figure it out as we go. I think we're already starting to kind of see glimpses.
4th and 4 for the Riveters from the Kewanee 46. Snap to Vandevelde. Look out, here comes the pressure. He's going to be, somehow gets rid of the ball, and it's going to be an incomplete pass. But he was going down, and just the fact that he got rid of it was pretty amazing in itself. Now it's going to be incomplete, and Princeton's going to go to work in great field position at the Kewanee 46. But I'm telling you, how in the world Dane Vandevelde even got rid of that ball in itself is quite a highlight play. But unfortunately, it's going to go incomplete.
Dane, that's the unique part of a quarterback like Dane, is how tall he is. He's going to be difficult to bring down. And, another benefit to having that taller quarterback is seeing over your line. There's no lie that we have some size up front.
Well, the Riveters right now have a 3-man defensive line. Don't know if somebody's out of position or just
there we go.
They're short. Now all of a sudden we've got 5 guys on the line. Well, let's see what happens. Princeton, kind of that full house backfield. Here's a keeper, kind of a wildcat. Colby Pollock on the carry. And a pickup all the way down to the Riveter 34.
There it is again, Bob. 8 yards. Get back on the ball.
Yeah, Princeton going no huddle, and just like you say, bingo, their linemen right up to the line of scrimmage. Kind of a power play, wings to the right side. And again, Pollock, the carrier, keeps it down to about the 25. And I think right now Princeton just happy to kind of march it upfield. We've not seen their starting quarterback, Bryce Cochran, out here yet. Well, there he is. As I said, that he's out on the field. But Colby Pollock doing some nice running that time. And the line of scrimmage down to the Riveter 25, where it's 1st and 10 Princeton. We're down to 6.5 here in the third quarter. Princeton up on the board, 31-0. And again, that double flanker to the right side, that's an interesting formation. Hand off again, it's going to go to Pollock. This time Cochran's going to be the lead blocker. And Pollock to the right side, still on his feet near the 10, going to be pushed out of bounds over there at about the 12. And again, Cochran was the lead blocker on that play. So you have the impression right now, Willie, that Princeton's just kind of working on some stuff.
Yeah, there's just we can't stop. We can't stop them at the moment. It's one. We just got to find a time where we can. It's okay to give up 2 yards, but 8 yards consistently. That's a heaping world of trouble that you're finding yourself in. 1st and
10 for Princeton from a Riveter 12. Again, that power formation, double flankers to the right side. Man in motion coming back this way. They're going to try and bring it back this way. And it's going to be a foot race to the end zone. And Princeton, I believe, is going to be just short, I think. That was Jamari Williams. Williams leaping up, going to be stopped just about the length of the football short of the goal line.
Right on the ball. There you have it.
And again, they go right back to work. It's a no huddle all the way. Boilers getting somebody out late to the line of scrimmage. And Princeton with Pollock on the carry. He's going to take it right in. That's going to be a 1-yard touchdown run with 5:41 left here in the third. And that'll move the score to 37-0 in favor of Princeton. Well, they pretty much marched it right down. Only had to go, about 46 yards. But they just marched it right downfield with Colby Pollock taking most of the snaps. It was basically a running offense from the quarterback position. Extra point attempt. The kick is up, and it is good. Well, I'll tell you what, Princeton's got a pretty good kicker in Braylon Clevenger. And, Willie, we've seen many, many games over the course of the years, different teams, different situations in different locales, etc. And you see this now, it's more common now than it used to be. It used to be that if you had a really good kicker, that was kind of a luxury. But you're seeing more and more teams with good kickers. And even at the high school level, you get a good kicker. That's a big deal.
It's a real big deal, and I'm gonna put my partner over here next to my right, both in the social studies department and in the press box work partner. Brady Clark proved that a couple years ago. Help me out, Coach. What was it? Maybe 30, 40-yard field goal to seal the game against Plano. Yeah. Plano in the playoffs. So it's like it matters now more than ever. And we saw it even with that drive. That was a professional drive that we got to watch from the Tigers. It was master class. Yeah. To cap it off with a field goal, felt like I was watching Sunday football again. So it's textbook. But yeah, to your point, kickers matter. And I'll say this, as a former college athlete, like you can get a spot at a college level sport at any, for any position, and that includes like a long snapper. So if you want to develop being a long snapper and go play college sports, start doing it.
Well, generally a long snapper is kind of a sort of a specific position. You're going to get pounded around a few plays a game, but for the most part, you're going to remain fairly fresh over on the sideline. Oh, yeah. And if you can do it well, that's a pretty good payday.
Oh, yeah. I was jealous of the kickers. I got to watch them kind of sit around and just kick all day.
All right, another kickoff coming up for the Tigers, and once again, it'll be Braylon Clevenger to do that. Back deep, Kamani Winters, and also Matthew Sutherland for the Riveters. The approach and the kick. And this time in deep to Winters. He'll drop the ball at the 14, picks it up, straight ahead up to the 20, tries the left side to the 25, 30. Still on his feet. He's got some speed, doesn't he? He's going to be brought down on the far sideline. Pushed out of bounds just over the 45-yard line. And that's a pretty good play. That time, Andrew Giaquinto in on the tackle. But I tell you what, Kamani Winters, he's got some wheels there, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. I'm telling you right now. I'm buy his stock right now. Fans watching at home, coaches watching at home. Watch out, Mr. Winters.
38-0 Princeton. Let's see if the Riveters can get on the board here. They'll start it off 1st and 10 from the Kewanee 46-yard line. We're about just about midway through the third quarter. And now for the Riveters, a flanker to the near side right, a receiver to the far side left. Pro set backfield. Dane Vandevelde steps in under center, takes the snap. The late handoff to Winters, trying to get to the outside right. Gets by a would-be tackler, gets by a second. He's going to pick up about 6 on the carry. Tackle that time going to be made by Owen Elmore of Princeton, but down to the Princeton 49-yard line. And that's a nice carry that time, a little over, right at about 5 yards, I guess we'll call it. But Winters again showing the speed and that elusiveness. Tackler would have had him for a 2-yard loss, except for he's able to kind of stiff arm and kind of dance away. So some pretty good running that time by Kamani Winters.
Strong runner for his size.
He really is.
I tell you what, he's got a wide receiver body, but he's running like a strong running back.
Aiden Davis also in the backfield this time with Winters. It's a pro set. Hand off to Winters. A little bit of jittery breaking through the line inside the 40. Still dragging would-be tacklers. And a mob down around the 35-yard line. Kamani Winters.
Give that man a breather and a cup of water on the sidelines, man. This guy is just rocking and rolling.
He really is.
There we go. My wish came true. Get that man some water.
He heard you upstairs here, Willie.
Coach Taylor greeted him with a pat on the back and a water. So he must be doing good work, and that's not just coming from the press box.
And it's a job that moves the flags down to the 35. Princeton, 1st and 10 for the Riveters. Wide receivers on either side. Now flankers on either side. Slots on either side, rather. And this time Vandevelde from the shotgun. Has time. Rolls out to the left side. Here comes the pressure. He's hit as he throws. It's going to be complete out there to the 35. Inside the 35 down to about the 31. And that's the number 44 for the Riveters that we do not have up here unless somebody happens to recognize somebody. But again, both teams have done this today, changing jerseys.
Washers were down.
And, when they don't let the media know, we're just at a loss. Nevertheless, Riveters got something going here, facing 2nd and 7 from the Princeton 32-yard line. This time a receiver slotted to the left side, flanker to the near side right. Pro set backfield. Hand off to the first man through. That's going to be Aiden Davis.
Yeah.
Hit. Then he spills forward for a couple more yards. Down inside the 30, near the 28. And Aiden Davis with some nice running that time.
He has got a fascinating kind of archetype, kind of a build to him.
45 is Davis. It's a new number.
Aiden Davis. Yeah, we have him.
45 Aiden Davis.
Oh, thank you. Well.
All right, at the 29-yard line of Princeton, the Riveters facing 3rd down and about 4 yards to go. This time Kiwani sending 2 receivers left. It'll be a double flanker, or rather a single flanker to the right side. Keeper this time for Vandevelde. He's got the first down and then some, still going inside the 20, still on his feet, down near the 15. Going to finally be spun down at about the 16-yard line.
Who got in these boys here, man?
I tell you what.
Those legs are not. Oh, that's not.
I'm out on the field.
Oh, yeah, one of the Boilers, one of the Riveters down. We're down to the 2-minute mark here in this third quarter, 38-0 Princeton. The Riveters already have had at least one injury. Cam Cernovich, their starting quarterback, has been out with a left ankle sprain. And somebody else is down, and not sure who it is from here. So the staff out to take a look. You know, we've got a varsity matchup coming this Friday night as Hall Township will be in town. Steve Osborne and I will have the call for you. It's a 7 o'clock kickoff here from the stadium. And figure we'll be on the air somewhere around 6:40, 6:45, somewhere along in there. And I'm sure that the hometown faithful are looking for a good return to the stadium from their club, and I'm sure the Boilermakers are hoping for a good night here on Friday night.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a little bit of a light show taking place at, at the field again. It's been too long.
Well, and unfortunately, that's Dane Vandevelde who's down on the floor, and he's got a ankle injury also from the looks of it. Willie, this is really going to test the team now because Dane had been playing very, very well in relief of Cam Cernovich.
Now who you put at quarterback?
Right.
Dane's, it's starting to concern me if it's a little bit more than an ankle.
Yeah, he's kind of holding that leg back. I'm with you there. That's too bad. Everybody's lining up. I don't think they realize that these guys over here are not off the field yet. Yeah, I guess the judge sees that. So who will be stepping in at quarterback?
Got Yepson, looks like number 5.
Adam Yepson, yes, you are correct. Boy, and Dane, yeah, he's not coming back today, unfortunately. So Adam Yepson will step in, 1st and 10 for the Riveters from the Princeton 15. And a high snap. This one's going to go up and off to the right side. Kamani Winters goes down the line of scrimmage, pretty much parallel to the line, maybe a yard, and it looks like it's going to be 2nd and 9 from right at the Princeton 15.
You know, this unfortunately just kind of keeps getting worse and worse for the Riveters / the Boilermaker program as a whole. I've seen a lot of injuries amongst our guys. It sounds like Aries Simmons just went out with an ankle injury this past weekend. And then Landon Greenhagen's missed some time. Unfortunately, just kind of happens to teams. Never like to see it.
No, I love the game of football, but I just hate to see injuries. Double flanker formation here for the Riveters. Delayed handoff to Winters. Look out, they come flying right through the line of scrimmage. And Winters is going to be tossed back for a loss. Andrew Giaquinto in on the tackle that time. And a loss back out to about the 20-yard line. And Boilers just plain and simply got beat at the line of scrimmage that time.
Well, you never have a chance when I think we were supposed to get a delay of game called us on there. The play clock read 0. So I think we were just panically snapping, and it looked like our guys didn't even get off the ball.
Oh, good catch. 3rd and 14 for the Riveters, back out to the Princeton 20. Wides and slots on both sides. Yupson from the quarterback position throws to the right side. They've got a completion, but an immediate tackle out here.
Hey guys, we found
And the
sand.
Matthew Sutherland was the receiver. He's going to be tackled immediately to the ground. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. And after 3, 38-0 in favor of Princeton. And so, fourth quarter coming up here, 38-0 in favor of the Tigers. And we wish we had a little bit more that we could say to you here. It was 31-0 at halftime. So, Willie, just the one touchdown by the Tigers in that second half so far.
Credit to the defense. We'll call it credit to the defense. Had a good offensive drive. This is, again, credit to the Riveters. We've seen progress because we weren't down on our, on the opposing team side very often. Last time me and you I had the privilege of talking up here with you in the press box. We've been there today, but we haven't finished today. So.
Yeah, that's the case, and they did have a couple of drives where it looked promising. In fact, this one right here was looking pretty good. Dane Vandevelde was in a pretty good groove, and unfortunately, he's out with an injury. I want to be optimistic. Well, they're looking at their leg down there, trying to do a little testing to see just where the ailment might be. Initially, I thought maybe an ankle, but it almost reminded you more of a knee as he was coming off the field. But right now, they're trying to get an idea just where the pinpoint might be. Now, nevertheless, for the Riveters, 4th down and 14 to go from the Princeton 20s. The fourth quarter just underway. Yupson back to throw, up and over the top. Look out, it's caught! A touchdown! Yupson to number 44, who again, well, Davis was 45 last we knew.
Yeah, it's not Davis.
So anyway, that's a 20-yard touchdown pass. Tip your cap to Adam Yupson. He put the ball up and over the top, and a nice job by the receiver to get behind everybody.
Sure could be.
And so a 20-yard touchdown pass, and the Riveters are on the scoreboard. It's 38-6, and Willie, likely they're not coming back to win, but hey, pick up your little victories wherever you can get them.
Absolutely. What a ball by Yepson. It's kind of been a game of who can play quarterback today, and we've been proven by all three that they all can.
Yeah, they really can. Going for a 2-point conversion. There's a throw to the end zone, wide open.
My goodness.
It's a 2-point conversion. And it will be Adam Yupson to Matthew Sutherland. And the Riveters now have 38-8 with 9:54 left here in the contest. And boy, 6 seconds in. How about that, huh?
Promising. Very promising. This is something good to end on. So let's keep the momentum high. What do you say, Bob? Let's put up maybe one more, maybe two more, get a defensive stop. I don't know. Have we seen a defensive stop today?
Not many.
I don't know if we have. So
not many.
Let's do that this time, huh?
All right, let's see what happens here. Willie, I like the way you think.
I try to be positive.
Well, well, and you have the veterans' experience under your belt, and that always helps out.
Veteran experience of losing, that is correct.
Well, no, what I meant was what I really meant.
I'm just kidding. But
I know.
But to your point, right, like I've experienced losing. I've experienced like the highs and lows of seasons, no matter the sport is. So you're right. It's a unique perspective that I'm lucky and blessed to have. And hopefully something that these kids will be able to take away with them beyond their careers at Kewanee High School.
Well, let's see what happens here. The last time the Tigers had the ball, they had a 46-yard short field. Colby Pollock basically ran from the quarterback position, pretty much ran the entire time. And they were very, very effective at that. Matthew Bohms and Jamari Williams are deep for the Tigers to field this kickoff. First two quarterbacks for the Boilermakers out already with injury, Cam Cernovich and then Dane Vandevelde. Cam was playing well. A nice job by Dane in relief, and then he goes down, and here a moment ago, Adam Yepsen steps in and throws a 20-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to give quick credit to 44. Our mysterious man was Jonah Janey with the touchdown grab, courtesy of Yepsen. So,
all right.
Quick shout to him.
All right, here's the approach and the kickoff. Kewanee Winters is going to do the kicking. And a pretty good end over end. Ball's going to bounce down on the turf right at about the 21. Picked up there, and the ball's loose. It's going to be fumbled away, and the Riveters have recovered. Ball carrier was Eli Osborne, and the ball's knocked away. And the Riveters with good field position here. And they're going to go to work first and 10 from the Princeton 28-yard line.
And just to continue hopping on the Winters bandwagon, he was the guy that kicked in and was the first man to the ball, that poked that ball free. Become a household name. He will be, I guess he will continue to be a household name at Kewanee High School.
Well, you were talking about trying to get a couple of scores here yet before the night's over, and Willie, I think they must have heard you down there.
I am told that I have a loud voice.
From the spread, wides and slots both sides. Yepsen, the quarterback, takes the snap. Now rolling to the right. Look out, the pressure's coming. He throws on the run. Going to be incomplete. Looking down that right sideline. And they were trying to find Matthew Sutherland. The ball through his hands, but pretty good job that time by Adam Yepsen just to get rid of the ball.
Still a strong throw from the kid under pressure.
As it is, it's going to be incomplete. It'll be second down and 10 for the Riveters with a line of scrimmage at the Princeton 28. 38-8 is the Princeton advantage. Clock stop, 9:45 here in this second half. Riveters breaking huddle with a wide receiver to the near side left. That's Walker Colomer. Flanker to the right side. And a deuce backfield. And a delayed handoff right up the middle.
Wow.
Good running all the way down to the 20. And the Riveters got something going. Kewanee Winters with a with a carry. He refuses to go down, and he's all the way down to the Princeton 20-yard line where it's going to be third down and a little over a yard to go.
Might be speaking too soon here, Bob, and hopefully this name rings a bell to you. But a guy from my time, he reminds me of a Lewis Robinson. I don't know if that name rings. That guy just refused to go down as running back. Had a similar, pretty tall kids, but fast.
Oh yeah.
So, good for Kewanee, man. This is cool to see from him.
Third down and about 2 to go. We'll call it from the Princeton 20. Riveters got on the scoreboard last time they had the ball. Now we got a timeout on the field as the Boilers were late to the line of scrimmage, and that's been something that's kind of plagued them for much of the evening, unfortunately.
But when do we try, Bob? Like, when do we have some awareness of the clock in terms of our offensive linemen walking up to the ball?
And as you know, you've got the 25-second clocks now on each end of the field. Not every school has those, but it's becoming more common than what it used to be, and it's been here at Kewanee for some time. So it's right there. I mean, it's right there.
It's staring right at him. That's where it's like, even though you might think that coach is going to call a timeout, why are we walking to the ball?
Well, I think you make a great point, as you suggested earlier, that, when you see linemen, flying out of that huddle, flying right up to the line of scrimmage. It's like, hey, we are ready to go. And if you're a fan of the Chicago Bears following this summer, you know their coach, Ben Johnson, he's a stickler for those type things. Make sure you're doing it the right way like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in any event, here we are today. And the Riveters back out to the field, facing a 3rd down and 2 from the Princeton 20-yard line.
Thinking a run to the Winners, saw a couple.
Let's see. Yepsen, the quarterback now, stepping in under center. Running back split in the backfield. Double tight end formation. And a delayed handoff to Kimani Winners to the right side. Back into the middle of the field, down near the 5. He's going to, or down near the 15, I beg your pardon. But he's going to have enough for the first down. It appeared that they had him at the line of scrimmage, and somehow he dances right through all that.
It's impressive, Bob. And again, I make the point that each time if you look close enough, you realize that Winters is not even really getting a running start in the backfield. Yeah. I mean, he's like almost full stop getting the ball in his hands and then saying, okay, Kamani, go ahead and start running. You'd love to see some progression work with him because, man, does he just fly.
Yeah, you're right, because right now it's basically footwork, getting through. But, yeah, as quickly as he hits the hole like that. All right, Boilers to the line of scrimmage. Very quickly they snap it. And this play's not going to go anywhere. Wait a minute. Kimani Winners had the carry. And I think they're going to blow the whistle dead, although they forgot to tell Kimani that because he kept going and he broke loose out of the pack. And had that not whistle occurred, he was gone to the left side. He would have taken that one to the house. But they're going to say the momentum was stopped, so a loss back out to the 20. Going to be 2nd down and about 13 yards to go from the Tiger 20. Wides and slots, both sides for the Riveters. There's the snap. Yepsen from the gun. Here comes the pressure. He rolls to the right, trying to get it upfield. He's going to be brought down for a loss of about 4 yards on that play. That's too bad. I think Yepsen maybe just didn't quite realize how quick the defender was coming.
Yeah, and thankfully, man, we didn't drop another quarterback, but he did not. That was a tough hit he took back there. But always real cool to see your quarterback just hop right back up after that, not be defeated, not start yelling at your guys. So good for Yepsen.
All right.
A little throwing opportunity for him.
Had him back up, headed back in, clock moving down to the 6:40 mark in the ball game, 38-8 is the advantage for Princeton. Riveters trying to get something here. And the ball's going to be snapped. Very quickly tossed over to the right side. Just going to be lobbed upfield, and it's going to be intercepted down around the 15. And the interceptor's still kind of dragging people out near the 20.
Jefferson's pass is intercepted.
That's too bad that time. That ball was just kind of put up in the air. And unfortunately, another Riveter down on the turf. You never know when injuries are going to occur or why or how. But the Boilers have had more than their share of them.
Yeah.
And it's too bad. You hate to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, it's a broken record up here, Bob, but we were 2 seconds on the play clock left, and we just snapped it just to avoid the delay of game. But I'm not saying that's our quarterback who got hurt. In fact, it looks like it's Kimani Winners. But that's how you get people hurt, right? Mm-hmm. So something to take back to the drawing board, keep those types of things in mind. I'm sure Coach Powell has already taken note of it. Talented coach that he is. So looks like Kimani's coming off on his own 2 feet, which is kind of unique for us, speaking of today.
Yeah, absolutely. And hope it's nothing more than maybe just had the wind kind of knocked out of him a little bit. And that's no fun when that happens, but so let's see what happens here. As the Tigers will have it at their own 18-yard line, where it's going to be 1st and 10, call it the 19. And I got to think they're probably going to run a similar type formation and series that they did last time. He's going to snap it to the deep back, which would be Pollock. He's going to spin forward, diving ahead out to about the 24. Spun out of a tackle right at about the 21. And gets up to the 24. So a pickup that time of about 4, maybe 5. And so, again, I got to think this is how they're going to do it. Jeremiah Reynolds in on the hit that time for the Riveters. So it'll be second down and 5 from the Princeton 24. And right now, as much as anything, Willie, they're just milking that clock. They just would like to get this one over with.
I'm sure.
And again, a tight formation for the Tigers. They're using that full 25-second clock. And this time they did not. They used the 30-second clock, and it's going to be a delay of game against Princeton. No, I beg your pardon. They got the timeout before that. So, but that's the first time they've had that issue tonight.
Yeah.
Well, again, I wish we had some better news on the scoreboard. 38-8 in favor of Princeton. 5:29 left here in the contest. And once again, we'll have varsity action this coming Friday night, as the Hall Red Devils will be in town. That'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff. And if you can't make it out to the stadium, we'll have it here on the live stream as Steve Osborne and yours truly on the call Friday night. And Steve and I certainly looking forward to that one. Here tonight, again, another tough one on the board. 38-8 in favor of Princeton. And, Willie, it's a tough thing because you want to point out as many positives as you can, and the Riveters have had some positives tonight. Unfortunately for them, there just hasn't been enough of them.
No, and really it's come down to finishing drives, and that is not a Kewanee High School problem. That is a thing that football teams always are asking themselves: how can we finish drives? So.
All right, 4-man defensive line now for the Riveters as the Tigers have it. We're a second down. Long count. There's a snap. Ball's going to be bobbled right at the line of scrimmage. And a good job by the Riveters up defensively. The ball carrier is Mason Elliott that time. Elliott's going to actually lose a couple of yards back to the 27.
First hit by number 72.
I beg your pardon. A very, very slight gain. In any event, again, Princeton very quickly to the line of scrimmage this time. Long count. There it is. Ball slightly bobbled again.
72 again. Who is that man?
Up to about the line of scrimmage there. And let's see here. Well, they really just bounced all over the place tonight with the numbers on the jerseys. So in some cases, let's be very honest with you, we have no clue. They have just moved so many numbers around tonight. Nothing that in some cases it matches our roster or is even on our roster.
I suspect after the injuries we've had today, there might be a chance we're going to see more of that, Bob.
First and 10 for Princeton from the Tiger 30-yard line. They're up 38-8. Long count. There's the snap. Delayed handoff again.
Oh.
And Walker Collimer is going to lead the defensive charge this time. The ball carrier that time was Colby Pollock. And Pollock takes it up to the Princeton 34-yard line. A pick up that time of 4. We'll call it second down and 6. Clock moving down to the 3:40 mark here in the fourth quarter. 38-8 is the Princeton advantage. Tigers using the clock. Their starting quarterback now coming out onto the field, and that's Bryce Cochran. Last time he came out in this scenario, he was used as a lead blocker. He is lining up from the shotgun with the double wing formation. And it's going to be a fumble, and the ball is going to be loose, and I think the Riveters might have it. No, they're going to say it's going to be incomplete, but the ball was knocked away.
Oh.
They're calling that incomplete.
What? That looked like a fumbled handoff there, Bob.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got out of it. But just when you thought you'd seen it, or, we do have a timeout on the field here. Officially, it's being called 3rd and 6. They're going to say that the pass was being kind of shoveled forward, if you will. The ball was being shoveled forward. And so that's going to be the call from the official. Not a timeout. Princeton over quickly to the sideline. Now back quickly out on the field. Yeah, they didn't even start the 25-second clock on that one. Well, 3rd down for the Tigers. 3rd and 6 from the Princeton 34. And it's going to be a delayed handoff, trying to get around to the left side. Look out, this is trouble. Out into the open this time is going to be Jamari Williams. Williams going to break it loose. He's going to take this one all the way to the house. And that's going to be a 66-yard touchdown carry for Jamari Williams.
That's a 76-yard touchdown.
And it's 44-8 now in favor of the Princeton Tigers. Wow. So from the 34, that would be 66. And Clevenger, their kicker, to do the extra point kicking. He's been pretty solid for them. 44-8 now in favor of Princeton. And the extra point attempt, the traditional kick coming up here. The snap, the place the kick is up, it's good. You can tell those guys have practiced that quite a bit. 45-8, Princeton up. 3 minutes left here in this contest. And I think, Willie, from here, really for both sides, just got to hope, let's get out of here before anyone is injured. Let's just get this one over with and get people home halfway safe.
Yeah, go on to the next one. But again, this is another tale of that just as soon as you thought you knew them all, you come up with another guy, number 8, Jamari Williams of the Tigers. I don't think he's been getting really all too many touches at running back, but he certainly did right there.
All right, let's see where it goes from here. But we're down to 3 minutes, and again, as we say, let's just get out before anyone gets hurt or anything like that. The Boilers have already lost a couple players. In fact, they got 3 down on the bench now that they're working on.
Got Winters, Vandevelde, Cernovich. Hello.
There's well, they've already got a couple of guys that are kind of roughed up even before coming into the game.
Oh, you have that too. Curious, kind of a name I missed earlier when I was going through some of the injuries the varsity's been facing. I'm curious if we'll see LaFollette back on the field this week.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Completely forgot about him. Hard to. I don't know how I did.
Matthew Sutherland, Walker Collimer deep to field the kickoff here for the Riveters. 45-8. It's all Princeton on the scoreboard. Jamari Williams just getting loose for a 66-yard scamper.
No. Are we putting it?
Kickoff to about the 20.
Sutherland brings it back up.
And it will be a nice carry by Matthew Sutherland. Oh, he takes quite a hit out across the 30 to about the 35, 36, 37, and another Riveter down on the field. You know, you hate to just give up, period. But in a case like this, why not just throw the white flag and say that's it?
Yeah, we're our numbers, all seriousness here, Bob, are starting to slowly dwindle right in front of us.
Yeah, I mean, again, you're not going to get anything more done in the final 3 minutes of this one. You got so many guys banged up. You just had another guy go down. Well, certainly not my decision, but you just hate to see more guys get banged up, and you got a club that's kind of on the ropes right now, unfortunately.
On his own 2 feet.
We're glad to see that. That's Matthew Sutherland. And as he bounces back up, if he heard me make those comments, to say, "What, are you nuts? We're going to keep going. Don't talk like that." He does seem a bit woozy, however.
Oh, you never like to see that.
Yeah. That's he really got hit if he's walking off like that. Well, that will be the fourth Riveter on the sidelines tonight via injury.
Timeout, Kiwani.
All right, you probably heard the announcement there of timeout by the Riveters, and they will continue to play this one out. Line of scrimmage will be at the Riveter 37.
Turned into the press box. It was left in
2:55 left in this contest. 45-8 Princeton on the scoreboard.
Oh, man. Never like to see this, Bob, in terms of guys getting hurt.
Yeah.
This is unfortunately not been kind. The old injury bug has not been kind, clearly. Just hope all these guys can make speedy recovers, but I see a lot of ice. I see a lot of ice.
Well, I truly love the game of football, but I just hate to see people get injured, and it's unfortunate that probably the sport I'm going to guess that produces the most injuries is football. But it's just part of it. When you're that big, you're that strong, you're that fast, and everyone's trying to go into that little small space for that ball, things are going to happen. Riveters with a handoff, and the run around across the 40 to about the 41.
You know, I wonder when high school, specifically IHSA, is going to start trying limiting some of those types of injuries. We just saw that one on a kick return. Saw that professional NFL now, they have where they start the kickoff team just to kind of limit the speed that some of those fast guys can produce.
And
with that
some of the stats would indicate that new approach has already had a positive effect on that sort of thing.
Right.
Handoff here to Aiden Davis in the backfield trying to try the left side. And just really never got untracked there. And it's going to be pick up to about the 38-yard line, or actually a loss back to the 38, a bigger pardon. And
45, Davis, the ball carrier.
Just
Brought down by number 84.
just not a lot going on that play. Ethan Knack is the tackler for Princeton on that play. Tigers have certainly got to use their bench here this evening. Boilers have gone through three quarterbacks. Adam Yepsen, the number 3 quarterback, now out there for Kewanee. Wide receiver to the near side left for the Rivs is Walker Calamar. Handoff right into the middle of the line. Not much there, a couple of yards maybe only a yard at that.
Davis, the ball carrier, brought down by
Aiden Davis once again on the carry.
Cruz Carter.
And it's going to be 4th down and about 9 to go. The Riveters now going with a no huddle very, very quickly. Down to 1:10 left here in the contest. There's the snap. Yepsen with a handoff to Davis to the right side and picks up a yard, and that's going to be about it. And I got to think now if you're Princeton, they're just probably going to drop the knee a couple of times. We're inside of a minute left in this ball game.
Princeton takes over on down.
Yeah, they're just going to wind it. We might see another play. But we plan to visit with Coach Dylan Powell here in just a little bit. I don't even think they're going to run another play. Just let it go. All right, it's a tough one on the scoreboard here tonight. 45-8 is the final.
The ball game. Final score, Princeton 45, Kewanee 8.
And again, we're going to visit with Riveter coach Dylan Powell here in just a couple of moments. And, you know, it's a tough situation because you wish there was a lot to talk about, and there certainly is. But, you know, kind of a tough situation for coach as, you know, it's the bragging rights will be, that list will be fairly short. The only highlight scoring we have really were mostly Princeton, but Wally, how about that score for the Riveters there? That was a pretty nifty little thing.
Yeah. So realistically, we started with a Winters 35-yard return, which put us in pretty good field position heading into the fourth quarter. Is when we officially scored. We got a 20-yard touchdown reception. Yepsen to we finally got the name Jonah Najani. 20-yard touchdown pass. We also had a 2-point conversion good, another Yepson pass to Matthew Sutherland for a 2-point conversion. And then really beyond that, saw some moments, just not enough.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to, is just that point of just not enough.
Tough situation now as the coach is going to gather up his players. And, on the one hand, what do you say in a sense that you probably haven't said already in terms of, motivation, or listen, guys, let's stay tough, let's stay there together. What can they say that they probably haven't already said? And for the players, how do you keep them tuned in? How do you keep them focused? That's going to be a challenge for both parties.
Yeah, you never like to start off a season the way that both levels have started. It's a difficult situation. It's easy to get down a really bad path, but between the coaches that we've got, for both levels, I'm confident that really they're just preaching to the guys to stay the course, especially at such young of a level, and being confident in themselves, right? These games are going to happen. Like, they might lose this game as a fresh soft player against Princeton, 30 or 45-8 score, but by the time they're juniors and seniors, they can completely turn it around. So there's progress to be made. Hopefully, it's just resonating with the kids in terms of having that confidence within themselves to believe in the belief that they can actually do it.
Well, let's see. Did we lose our camera there? Let's see. I'm not sure if we're supposed to flip the switch here or just what, but
grab my headset too.
In any event, it does appear that might be the case here. We'll check and see what they do when they get down here in just a moment. But 45-8 is the Princeton final. Their margin of victory here tonight over the Kewanee Riveters. And again, Coach down visiting with his team here at the end of things and trying to rally the troops just a little bit. And part of the problem now for the Riveters is you had like 4 different guys that suffered some injuries tonight, and that's kind of a tough situation there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming, again, don't have experience on the coaching side of football, but this has to be the major challenge of coaching football, because like you had mentioned, this sport just accounts for a lot of injuries, big or small, right? And like you said, it's hard to affect you because you only play once a week. So if it's a severe enough injury to keep you out a week, then you're out a week, and that's just all there is to it. So unlike, think about a basketball season where you might have a game on Friday and Saturday, you might just miss the Friday game. You get a chance to play on Saturday.
Yeah.
Now these kids, going to have to wait another week possibly. Hopefully that's not the case we had Vanderbilt, Winters, Cernovich and Sutherland, all 4 players that we've been high and mighty about since the season started, and the past 2 games. Each one of them in their own ways had strong performances tonight, and unfortunately, seeing them all 4 down, not a great scene. But again, going back to the idea of fresh soft football, this gives them, some of these other guys some chances to kind of step in and show out.
Well, again, a tough one on the scoreboard here as the final once again is 45-8. And credit the Riveters for staying tough and at least getting that second half touchdown to at least get that. And again, you take your victories wherever you can get them. But it's just been a tough season, no way around it. And Coach Powell is on his way up now, and we'll visit with him and get a little bit of his perspective. And Willie, I think you've got play-by-play here in a couple of weeks, don't you?
Oh, do I?
I think so. I have to double check that schedule.
I'll have to check that too.
Yeah, but anyway,
I've learned from the GOAT.
Well, I will certainly be listening. I'll tune in just to see, and but I know you do a fine job unless something changes. But I believe that's how it's going to be. And again, I'll have the varsity game that's coming Friday night as Hall Township. The Red Devils will be coming in for a visit, and certainly would be nice to get the Boilers off the hook on that one, but we'll wait and see there. And Coach Powell is going to be headed over here in just a moment or two. And we'll get his perspective on things. Again, tough one on the board for the Rivs here tonight. And Coach kind enough to come up and give us a few minutes of his time as, again, Coach Dylan Powell with us. Coach, good to see you as always, but kind of a tough one on the scoreboard tonight.
Yeah, definitely a tough one. There were some good moments for sure. We got to keep working. It's just tough right now being in this situation. And I know it hurts the kids, it hurts us as coaches, but I think this one will make us better ultimately. Coach,
it has to be quite a challenge for you to come down after the field and go to address the guys. It's got to be a bit of a challenge. What do you say? What kind of buttons do you push? Some things that maybe you've had to say already this season. How do you keep it fresh and inspiring at that moment?
I mean, tonight I really just told them, I said, here's the deal. I said, you guys seeing it tonight on the broadcast, a little decimated by injuries right now. We had some guys go down that are really important to us, and I hope those guys have a speedy recovery, of course. But I told the guys that are still active in the game and things like that, hey, next man up, right? Some of you guys are going to play positions you haven't played yet, and it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be a learning curve this week, and it was a learning curve while we were in the game, having to make adjustments, but just got to be better about it and, learn from it. And yeah.
As you mentioned, there were some bright spots. You look at Dane Vandevelde coming in at quarterback to replace Cam Cernovich, and Dane had a great ability to get that ball out of his hands very quickly. He was doing a nice job till he got hurt.
It was really unfortunate to see Dane go down. He's a good kid, plays all three aspects of football for us, special teams, offense, defense. He's kind of our do-it-everything guy, and we had to look at Yepsen after that, Adam Yepsen, and they're all three of those guys that can play quarterback have stepped up for us this season. I'm really proud of all three of them. Dane did a fantastic job having to run the ball in a couple of situations that we'd never really practiced with him before. He's practiced quarterback, but not a whole lot of it, and so getting him going from that standpoint was interesting. And same with Adam Yepsen. He threw a beautiful touchdown down there in the end zone with Jonah Janey. That was great.
That was sweet to watch that from up here. It was a nice pattern. Kaimani Winters, my goodness gracious, you could spend some time talking about this guy, huh?
Kaimani, he kind of came onto the scene a little late in the season and things like that, for the fall camp and all those things. He just joined on, and he's done a really great job ever since. But it was interesting tonight. This is his first week ever playing running back in his whole entire football career, and I felt like he got stronger as the game went on. He just continued to break tackles and do some really cool things that I hadn't seen from him before. So I think he's starting to really embrace that role, and he's going to be a very special football player for us down the stretch.
He has some very, very elusive feet, some great footwork in traffic.
Absolutely.
You think about him, you get him out in space with that foot speed. Holy Moses, the potential's got to be very, very exciting there. Walker Collimer had a nice game. Tyree Graves finally got to suit up for you. It's nice to see the big fellow out there.
Oh, man. Tyree, I think he's starting to really fall in love with football right now, and that's something that we've been expecting of him for a little while now, but we're really glad to see it. I think he really loves the game, and he's had some playing time on Friday nights too, and so getting to have him both ways has been really fun. I think he's really starting to enjoy it and come into his own, and so you'll be seeing a lot of Tyree down the road too.
Jonah Janey had a nice ball game as well.
This is Jonah Janey's first year ever playing a receiver role or a skill role. He played a lot of offensive line when he was growing up and things like that. I believe he said his dad played tight end. I said, well, we might try you out there sometime. Finally got his chance, and it worked out for him. That was a beautiful catch by him. I was so impressed. He had a couple of good catches tonight, and that touchdown was one of them.
And that's kind of the message right now. You do have some positives here and there. You need more of them, certainly, but you've got some positives. It's just a matter of building on those things.
Yeah, I mean, this is not the same team that we saw 4 weeks ago in the same place, and that's something I told them while we were down in the huddle, too. This is a very different team. They put up a lot of fight tonight that we hadn't seen yet, and that's something that's very special.
Willie Terry pointed out the same thing up here in the booth. He said, hey, look, we've seen some progress from a couple of weeks ago when we saw them. So progress, I guess that's the main thing right now.
Just try to take as much as we can and really live up to it. So.
Well, there you go. Coach, I appreciate you coming by this evening. Dylan, continued best wishes to you and your Riveters.
Hey, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
You bet. Dylan Powell, the head coach of the Kewanee Riveters. Again, kind of a tough one on the scoreboard for the Rivs tonight. Princeton picks up the 45-8 victory. But as Coach says, there were some positives along the way, so Willie, you said you've never been a coach before, but I don't know. There may be something there. I think you and Coach saw that same progress. I think that you guys are on the same page there.
Yeah, well, and I think just as a player, being able to play at the next level and seeing like next level coaches as well, again, a blessed opportunity of my own, has opened my eyes to some things, and I kind of get to see it through a coach's lens. That's what's some of the best part of being, not besides just working with the best up here in the booth, also just simply being able to kind of see it at a bird's eye view. I think I'll be coming out better than that, and maybe one day find myself on the football sidelines again and wearing the coach's hat. But you never know. So this has been a tremendous experience, and kind of getting to be able to see the game from afar.
It is a neat view up here, I must say, and over the course of many, many years, I can tell you they've sent us to different places all over, different schools, different times, to other places, on and on and on. Sometimes the view's not too bad. Generally speaking, it's not probably quite as good as it is here, but you just kind of adapt to wherever you go. But it does present rather quite a unique view, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. I've been saying it. No one does it better than Kewanee. So,
well, that is the story here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's say thanks to our Boiler Booster live stream sponsors, including Mel Foster Company, Cerno's Bar and Grill, Coco's Coffee Shop, both in downtown Kewanee, the People's National Bank, Cernovich's Auto and Truck Wrecking of Kewanee, Edward Jones, the Kewanee Schools Foundation, Martin Engineering, Kewanee Physical Therapy and Rehab Specialist, the Community State Bank, Great Dane, OSF St. Luke Medical Center, Gustafson Ford, the State Bank of Toulon, Goods Furniture, Union Federal Savings and Loan, Hammond Henry Hospital, the Ed Morse Automotive Group, Chevy and GM, and also Breedlove's Sporting Goods in downtown Kewanee. Well, we certainly hope you've enjoyed the broadcast, and we certainly wish we had a little bit better news to pass along. But again, Princeton topping the Kewanee Riveters, a final on this one tonight, 45-8. That'll wrap it up. And for my partner tonight, Willie Terry, this is Bob McKee saying thanks for joining us on this Monday evening. We'll look forward to seeing you the next time.